Yeah.
They're practicing for their move against AWC.
Oh, okay. All right, well, the doors are open. It is Go Next versus Method Black in a RMP mirror.
Radopi gets to play his main discipline priest and go head-to-head with Chaz. I would imagine Go Next are pretty happy about this situation, but both priests in crowd control. Raikou pulls the trigger first. Big motorcycle out from Waz on a Fried Kitty, but Temporal Shield absorbed the hit, healing him, and they're actually going after Chaz with the Gladiator Spites, trying to overload his corruption. A risky strategy to go after the healer in a Rogue Mage mirror, and it's going to cost them their ice block for that strategy choice and put them very far behind.
Yeah, this...
Did get decent help there from Raikou. Raikou also able to secure a CC there onto Radopi. It's going to allow Method Black to get ahead in this mage race. Radopi trinketing now out of a polymorph. He did already use blind on the side of Waz with Chaz, taking so much damage and using that pain suppression. Could still be in a lot of trouble. Fried Kitty on the flip side, though, also going down here, Sid.
Ooh, half polymorph on Radopi. Cauterize is about to trigger. Fried Kitty has nothing here. Blind half duration. Method Black close it out. Go Next tried to bring a surprise, going after the healer with the Gladiator Spites and trying to get an overly corrupted strategy going, but it didn't work. It backfired, and Method Black were quick to respond. Is when you're being targeted and you have to move and deal with multiple interrupts at the same time. And if you don't have the conflict and strife to bolster yourself up when you're stunned, it becomes that much more difficult.
All right, let's see. Raikou in the midfield. What is he going to be looking to do? Throwing in a frozen orb on Radopi, just trying to slow him down, and that's going to be Raikou's job. Swapsy is going to be in a lot of trouble, and we have to see Raikou try to defuse that. Let's see if he can do it. Swapsy getting low very early on. It is going to be the unnetting resolve, and this is the big one-shot I'm talking about. And Chaz actually in a full polymorph, might just win in the opener. Swapsy gets 5% health and taken down. That is the risk when you go against the Rogue Mage Priest, and that is what I was talking about. I mean, this could definitely backfire for Method Black. I don't think they were expecting that, and it's just, it's crazy.
Oh, they're doing it again. They're doing it again. They're still running the Spite strategy. Is Chaz going to be overwhelmed here in game number 3? Go Next are committed to the Spite strategy. Even having lost game 1 trying to utilize it, they're sticking to their guns. And now the pain suppression trades, but Fried Kitty is absolutely being obliterated. Seconds within the match. Mass Dispel on the ice block. This is it. KO. This strat's not going to work. Method Black are too good for this cheese. Go Next need to go back to the drawing board.
Tied up 2-2, or is Method Black going to send them out of the tournament?
All right, here we go. Waz going to be moving in. He gets the sap on Radopi, and they're going to do it. They're bad men. They're going for the all-in. Chaz gets caught into a blind, and it looks like a complete role reversal here for these two teams. Radopi's in some trouble. He did trinket out. The barrier will drop as well, and let's see if Go Next can punish it as well as Method Black did. Raikou now with his combustion, doing some damage onto Radopi. He's getting overwhelmed. He's traded out everything. Trinket, Rapture, Pain Suppression, Power Word Barrier. I don't know how much longer Radopi is going to be able to survive. I think if they can get one more setup or maybe just outright kill Radopi, this would be absolutely, completely unbelievable.
He's dead. I think he's just dead here. Chaz is in a poly. Radopi is going to get KO'd with the same strategy. He's at 10% with Desperate Prayer to kick the penance instantly. Is there a counterspell? There isn't, but it doesn't matter. Method Black take the cheese strategy and say, here's how you do it. Win the game in less than a minute with the same strategy that Go Next were getting stomped with. That was BM almost.
I think this is going to be a much quicker game than the last one that we did see. I think both of these Mistweaver monks are vulnerable to an all-in assault, and we'll have to see. I mean, for Enlight, are they going to go after Raikou, a little bit more conservative in strategy, or just go after Chaz? Here it is, Swapsy and Raikou immediately. They're going to be going after Facile, it looks like. Actually potentially chasing after Zuniaki as well. Nice reversal of the trap from Raikou as they try to stay on target. Facile, though, caught into a trap. Not really going to be able to assist Zuniaki too much just yet.
All right, let's see if Zuniaki can deal with this assault. They've used all of their AoE stuns only on a single target, so this is smart from Cassidy and Facile. They want to chase Chaz and race. They might just win the race. Darkness gets dropped. Life Cocoon has to be plopped out as well. Double blind onto both the Feral and the Hunter as Zuniaki looks to survive. This is what I was worried about for Chaz, was if it turns into a race, the Frost Death Knight is not scary unless there are multiple targets. And Chaz has to bring the Hunter and the Feral on top of Zuni and try and heal through it. That's going to be very difficult to do as a Mistweaver. Zuniaki ports nowhere. Big mistake here. He could cost him his life. He gets bursted down. He life cocoons at 10%, but now Chaz is interrupted. He paralyzes Cassidy. He tries to roll to safety. They're chasing after him. Chaz ports. Facile disengages. Cassidy goes into travel form, removes the snare, stuns Chaz up. He trinkets, but he's being blasted. Crackling Jade from Zuniaki, getting that mark of the crane on Chaz. Raikou is rooted up. Chaz is going to lose the race. This all backfired because he didn't pick Shaman, I swear. Picking Monk in this matchup, Jungle's going to win that race 100%. They do way more single target damage.
If he can find hexes, that's going to be great, but I think in terms of sheer defense, Warlock definitely is going to have an edge in this one.
All right, Peekaboo and Nick both crossing center field, trying to find saps, but not going to, as Burn and WizK meet each other in midfield. And this is kind of the story of WizK. Can WizK Warlock beat Burn Warlock? Can it get to the finals to face off against Chanimal Warlock? WizK really going to be tested in this tournament overall. He beat the first Warlock boss, Thugonomics.
Yeah, beat Thugonomics, and now he's going to have to go after Burn, and this is not going to be an easy matchup. Peekaboo actually putting a little bit of attention over onto Nick, trying to get some damage rolling onto him as both Warlocks are exchanging Chaos Bolts. Smoke Bomb does land. Peekaboo looking to get aggressive right now. Does he have the blind available for himself? Doesn't look like he's going to be able to find it on Warlock just yet. There's the full blind. Big damage here on Burn potentially, but he gets topped off, looking like he's going to be fine. The sap comes in from Peekaboo onto Warlock, and now Burn. This is a really scary moment. The Dressagath lands. Mortal Coil swats Peekaboo away for a second. WizK responds with a Mortal Coil of his own, looking for a Chaos Bolt, but Nick shuts that down. And I think Nick, in this situation, should be able to stabilize his team, and the attempt from the Golden Guardians should be over.
Warlock recovering with the Avenging Wrath. Moving in for a Hammer of Justice. WizK isolated for a moment, blinding light out, but it's actually Nick and Burn that are on the back foot. They have to use Cloak of Shadows. Sap out of blinding light. Beautiful play by Nick. WizK could easily fall here. Silenced and blasted down in midfield. Another sap out from Nick. WizK is absolutely getting destroyed out in midfield. Charlotte Phoenix go for an all-in, and Golden Guardians could do nothing to stop it.
Wow, yeah, very well done. So, Super T.
And just kill him out.
I don't know if they're going to be able to run it Tiki, but I just think they can do really good spite setups on basically anyone they want. And, I mean, Iron Bark is a really good cooldown, but it's not Life Cocoon, that's for sure. So I think the defensive capabilities of Enigma with this matchup is going to be maybe worse. I mean, we'll definitely have to wait and see. There's a reason why they decided to go with the Restoration Druid, and we'll have to see if they had the right thought process, or if Method Black is going to be walking away with game number 2 as well.
All right, they're trying to hold out and get a sap, but I believe that they've managed to get into combat. Rezus is trading it with his Dispel onto Infernion, and now Waz is maybe just going to have to open or hope he gets lucky and finds Tiki. Raikou is out of stealth. Tiki comes out of stealth, but he's in combat now as well. He drops Efflorescence on himself, so I'm expecting that Tiki thinks he's going to be the target. He gets cheap shot into Polymorph. Raikou double blinks for it. Infernion gets stunlock. Infernion trinkets out and goes for some big counter pressure. Unfortunately, that Polymorph didn't last the full duration, and now this damage is quite insane onto Raikou and Waz. Seemingly out of nowhere, Infernion looking to strike back in game 2. Double Shadow Fury. Chaz recovering with the Avenging Wrath, but with Avenging Wrath, you normally expect the whole team to be at full health. They certainly aren't at the moment. Chaz manages to pull them back up from the brink. Infernion with no trinket is susceptible now to that blind spite all-in, and if they can prevent Rezus from dropping Ride the Wind, he could easily be erased.
I'm really curious what broke the initial polymorph on Tiki. I mean, that's the reason why we're seeing Enigma have all this pressure. They committed a lot. I mean, double shimmer. Waz committed his stuns as well in order to get that crowd control. Now a big attempt on Rezus. He's in trouble. He got cheap shot on his trinket, and he's just going to be taken down. I mean, where is this damage coming from? Yeah, I mean, this should be an interesting one. I feel like Method Black is one of those teams. Obviously, they play so many different compositions. That gives them a lot of insight on how to actually beat those compositions as well. So with this Rogue Mage Priest, I feel like they'll have a fair shot here. Alec likely going to be the target. I mean, take a look after this initial opener, what these teams are running in terms of talents. Full polymorph on Asgrath, and it is going to be a Singe right away. Walrix, he's going to be playing the Imp. Immediate Dispel there onto Asgrath, and that's going to make it really difficult for them to find crowd control. Very similar to what we saw Cloud9 do yesterday.
Basically just stealing that strat from Chanimal. We saw him running the Imp against Rogue Mage and was able to dispel a lot of crowd control and drag the fight on for some time. It makes even more sense against the Discipline Priest, who's going to be on a clock as opposed to the Paladin. Another full polymorph dispelled by the Imp of Walrix. Alec taking quite a bit of pressure here. Huge damage from that Drestagath drop. Is Alec going to block? He blocks on 10%. Massive pressure from Method Black overall. We don't normally see the Mage Warlock composition stressed out this much without a Gladiator Spite trinket, and it looks like they're not running Spite, so this amount of damage is going to be repeated onto Alec quite frequently.
Yeah, and they are running full gushing wounds on Waz, and Raikou is playing Klepto, Temporal Shield, Firestarter, and full Versa. So, you know, you love to see that. Gonna see Mage being the target still here for the Rogue Mage Priest. They're gonna try to get a sheep here onto Asgarath. They get the blind. Is he going to trinket it? Doesn't look like it just yet. He trinkets out kind of late there. Raikou trying to snipe a polymorph now.
Maledict.
Gets it onto Warwicks with so much damage with those
Whoa!
Maledicts. And they are just going to destroy Alec there. Talk about it too much, you know, before the comps are locked in and everything, but I did get a little message from Chaz, very fired up, saying that, you know, we're gonna eat them alive. Let's go. You guys are gonna,
Brilliant.
you know.
Oh, they're doing my strat. I love this strat.
He said NASCAR. That was the word he used. He said be prepared for NASCAR. So I think we're going fast here, gentlemen.
All right, well, buckle up. It's time for NASCAR. Method Black versus Enlight. The gates opening. Whoever wins this series goes to the grand final. Whoever loses is no longer in the tournament. They bow out in third place.
So this is going to probably be a Death Grip Zuniaki, Chill Streak, and then run at Zuniaki until he dies strategy. Chaz is playing Orc Relentless, so he's going to get out of so many freezing traps. He gets stunned into a freezing trap, he adapts out. Then the next freezing trap, he gets reversed magicked. All Chaz has to do is stand on top of his team in Ghost Wolf, tank them with the Ghost Wolf healing, and run at Zuniaki. Let's see if Enlight can deal with this aggressive Zug cleave strategy. It is incredibly difficult to deal with as the Mistweaver Monk because you're so limited on your mobility with that Heartstop Delirium if the Death Knight is able to stay on target. But right now, Zuniaki actually cleanly got away. Method Black need to find a way to get back to him ASAP.
Yeah, well, with the jungle cleave, you know, it's always considered to be one of these compositions that's a little bit more squishy, but you do have a lot of utility there. You have the Roar of Sacrifice, the Hand of Freedom, essentially from the Hunter as well. So the Hunter brings a fair few tools. Feral, obviously, with the off-healing as well. So Zuniaki isn't alone in this battle, but he is going to have a tough time. We can see the Life Cocoon being forced out off of that Death Grip from Swapsy. The question is kind of how do they lose the game, Method Black? Right now, if you look at it, mana is a tough resource for them. Chaz taking a lot of damage on Swapsy. He had every single defensive cooldown, but caught off guard by the Drestagaths and Enlight, making light of Method Black's strategy.
All right, well, that's putting Diabolus 1-0 against Enlight, and they are really showing up today, but that's not all that's showing up, folks. Hey, everyone, my name is Rich W. Campbell, and Zika, let's talk about that last game, but before we do that, why am I the best World of Warcraft player in the world?
I gotta say, it's has obviously a lot to do with your mustache, with your bald head, but also just your ability to immediately pick up the best classes in the game and play them right away.
It's really true. And, you know, I was reading chat and they were just wondering where Rich was, and I just decided to show up for this game, Van Rookie. Let's talk about Enlight's options here. What do we think they're going to play for the next game here? Yeah, and now it's Enlight's map choice here. They are down 1-0 against Diabolus Supatees. Who do you think, though, is more handsome? Me or Gelubaba?
Wait, what? Gelubaba? I mean, Gelubaba definitely has better style. But when it comes to the handsome department, nothing gets me like a good handlebar mustache.
Thank you. Yeah, I think you are right in that one. But do we think we've seen in the past games Gelubaba switching switching off of Frostmage. Do you think we're going to see him play that today, or is he going to continue on with that fire?
I think he's going to stick with that fire right now. But I don't know if his gameplay is going to be as fire as your outfit today, Rich.
I can't even speak. I'm so sorry. This mustache is like it's restricting my mouth movements here.
It's not as easy as
It's
it
really
looks, right?
not. I'm just trying not to like smile too wide.
You know how I can tell you're the real Rich Campbell?
Why?
Because you're not in your position.
This is how I sit. I just thought I would, you know. And I've even got my pop filter here, and I changed my desk a little bit, though. I don't have a beautiful city skyline behind me, so I apologize about that, folks. All right, well, the gate is opening soon here as these teams get ready to face off against each other in game number 2 on Dalaran Sewers. Will Diabolus be able to win again and put themselves on match point, or is Enlight going to tie it up? And I'm going to go hang out with my friend Asmongold, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks.